This morning for you on Daybreak, scientists say they found a cancer-causing chemical in many flavored e-cigarettes. And hot temperatures seem to be a trend this month, how you can keep your kids cool during the heat. Plus, as Arkansas's governor is on his 2019 computer science tour, he stops in the River Valley. We'll have that story and more coming up for you this morning on Daybreak. Good morning, everyone. Welcome on in. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday, September 17th. I'm Joe Morano, Lauren Barnes with the morning off, but we are here to take you through plenty to get to over the course of the next 2 hours, including talking about the weather with Miss Elisa Raffa. We have a story about that coming up. Would you consider what we're dealing with lately unseasonably warm?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The month of September so far is running 8 degrees above average.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about averages and temperatures, the way you want to think about that is like a fever, right? When you're running 2 or 3 degrees above average, that's a lot.
Gotcha.
Just like a 2 or 3 degree fever
That can
makes
be a
you
lot when you're
sick.
8 degrees above.
That's
you're feeling
insane.
miserable.
Right. Imagine having an 8-degree fever. That's what this is
yeah.
like. And
Very
it
much
is incredibly much so above normal for this time of year.
Still sticking around as well. At least it's not that peak of July type heat, but it still is pretty warm.
Yeah, we're still with these temperatures in the 90s. We did hit a record yesterday. We could do it again today. Starting out with temperatures at 70 degrees this morning. Again, another really warm and humid start. Mostly clear skies and 71 degrees in Springfield right now with calm winds and really sticky dew points. We've got mostly clear skies. You'll have some dry roads as you head to work and school. Temperatures are warm again. 69 degrees in Rolla, 69 in Fort Leonard, 66 degrees in Branson and in Harrison. Dew points are in the low to middle 60s, some upper 60s too. Again, that's telling us that it's a pretty humid and summery start out there this morning. So I expect dry roads again today. Well, mostly sunny skies, maybe a downpour or two like we had yesterday, but for the most part, we'll stay dry. Temperatures up at 94 degrees again, mostly sunny, hot, and humid. That humidity will have it feel closer to 100. That heat lingers through much of the work week, then rounds of showers and storms arrive by the weekend with some relief from this heat. Details on that coming up in 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Elisa. The governor of Arkansas is focusing on digital technology and encouraging children and teens to do the same. This morning, Hannah Zettel looked into that. She's in the studio to give a little more detail for us on how this is all possible.
Well, that's right. Governor Hutchinson made a stop at River Valley High School in Arkansas Monday to speak about coding. It's all part of his 2019 computer science tour. The governor also spoke at Mulberry High School, one of the many schools across the state that has implemented coding and robotics. Hutchinson has allocated multiple resources to expand computer science education across the state, making Arkansas a national leader.
It's special today to come to Mulberry High School and talk to a small school, but they have scores of students that are taking computer science, and some of them are taking it online, but they're also taking robotics. They're competing in regional competitions, and so it's an illustration that we're making this available in every school in Arkansas.
Being able to go out and meet new people and just the communication and all with the robots and stuff really spoke out to me, and that's really cool.
This is the governor's 9th tour promoting computer science, and he's visited over 70 Arkansas schools.
Hannah Zettel reporting this morning. Thank you. If you went outside at all yesterday, you know those temperatures were unseasonably warm, yet kids still have to attend outdoor sports practices this time of year and other activities. Parents say the best way to protect your child is to, of course, keep them drinking lots of water when outdoors. We went to Nixa to look at this issue, and some youth soccer practices there last up to an hour, though on game days, that can be almost triple the amount of time. One mother we spoke with says she's constantly thinking about how to make sure the kids are safe while running in the heat.
Before practice, we will grab like a Powerade or a body armor and just make sure that we get lots of those good nutrients in them. And then during practice, we make sure we have water. My husband and I bring a big gallon of water and make sure that the kids have lots of breaks and can take breaks and get plenty of cooled water.
Also, don't forget to still use the sunscreen this time of the year as this warmer weather continues. Some medical coverage for you now. Right now is a good time to be on alert for signs and symptoms of hepatitis A, as those numbers have been increasing. The Greene County Health Department is seeing an increase and encourages anyone who hasn't been vaccinated to do so as soon as possible. Hepatitis A is usually transmitted through eating contaminated food, water, or contact through an infected person. The best way to prevent the disease is to get vaccinated. It's a 2-dose vaccine and provides lifelong protection.
It can be a severe virus. Over half of all the cases in Missouri have been hospitalized, and we have had 2 deaths statewide.
There hasn't been a case of hepatitis A in Greene County that is from a food worker just yet, though. Also in your medical coverage, the Senate president in Arkansas is proposing a new tax and regulation on vaping products in hopes that the governor will call lawmakers back to the Capitol to find a solution. Republican Jim Hendren proposed the legislation after becoming concerned about the rise of vaping among young people. It would tax e-cigs the same amount as tobacco products and would ban vaping at the same time at the same locations where tobacco smoking is banned. If approved, the money raised from the tax would help schools with safety improvements and hiring of mental health counselors. Vaping has also become a national concern as numerous cases of lung disease are under investigation for their connection to it. Now some scientists say they may have found a cancer-causing chemical in many flavored e-cig products. That chemical is pajulagone and has been found at high levels. The chemical is also in menthol and mint products, but one researcher says there's still reason for concern there.
This is really a big health concern for the vapors because they are putting this chemical in much, much higher levels than what is accepted by FDA.
The FDA banned the chemical as a food additive last year as well. You're right to know now, Kenneth Davis is expected to be arraigned in court today. He's charged with abuse of a child leading to the death of Kensley Kilgore, who died last year in Douglas County. Last week, Davis was found guilty of 7 counts of abuse of an 8-year-old girl in Greene County as well. A former Nixa city councilman convicted of killing his wife has died in prison. 72-year-old Rodney Evans was pronounced dead early Sunday morning at the state prison in Licking. Evans had been there since 1995, serving a life sentence for the murder in the '94 drowning of his wife, Sheila Robbins. Prison officials say he died of apparent natural causes. Cletus Barsh is a 43-year-old St. Joseph man who could face up to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to a boating accident that killed a man. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of boating while intoxicated, resulting in homicide, and 2 counts resulting in serious physical injury. The accident happened last year on Memorial Day weekend. His boat struck another, and 20-year-old Alex Potoff suffered a serious head injury and died that August. He'll be sentenced in March. 41-year-old Javon Denson will spend 24 years in prison for selling heroin. He led a drug trafficking organization that sold the drugs a few years ago. A federal judge gave him prison time with no chance of parole. When arrested, he was already on state parole for selling crack cocaine. Just getting started for you this morning. Still ahead for you, Purdue Pharma has a court hearing today regarding its bankruptcy filing. Those details are in your Money Watch. Stay with us.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.